Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, that is the R in the RK Stumbling Bear. And this is a new release review. So the book that I am going to talk about, I read last month. Last month at the beginning of March, and that is You Sexy Thing by Cat Rambo. And this came out in the fall of 2021. This is a space opera written in an omniscient point of view. And omniscient means you get to see inside of the heads of the characters. The majority of them, anyway. This was something that took me a while to process how I felt about it. If you go with star ratings, I ended up giving this a 4-star because a lot of this worked for me. The setting, for one. Hi, if you're new to my channel, I love space opera. You have to really mess things up for me not to enjoy your space opera. We're just going to start there. And I really enjoyed the characters. It had a diverse cast, and not only in the sense that not every character was human, but that each character had their own culture. And that culture came across in how they interacted with one another. And this is important because many times when you have a found family or a band of brothers situation, they will come from very similar cultures. So the characters in this have all come from different cultures. The majority of them have then had a moment of time that they've shared together that has helped define them into the unit they are. And that is because they were in a military unit in the Holy Hive Mind. And then they got out as much as they could. Anyway, you first are introduced to these characters in the setting of a restaurant because that's how they got out. There is a main character, I would say. And I would say that is Nico, because you start off seeing everything from her perspective. And she kind of helps drive the narrative. The events as they end up rolling out are due to her drive and her motivation. You can say she is the main character, but because of how you were in the head of so many of the characters, the side characters are very much present and needed in this story. So Nico and her band are able to get out of the military because she was considered an artist of food, a culinary artist, and this society that likes to meld minds together recognizes artists as needing to be singular and driven for their art. And so, as well as getting out, she pulled as many unit members as she could with her. And so we get to meet all of them through this restaurant, as they have been utilized to the best of their abilities for the different restaurant positions. And it was fun. And they're all in a big tizzy because a food critic is coming. They found out the name of the food critic, and so they're wanting to make sure that they can get that, I think it's called a Michelin star, kind of play on the Michelin, because if they get that, then basically they will be made. They'll be a popular destination, and then the Holy Hive Mind, which keeps tabs on them, will have to back off some because obviously they are fulfilling their artistic duty or whatnot. I don't know. Anyways, so the characters in this are beautiful. They're on point. And they start off on the station at this restaurant, and then things happen and they have to evacuate and abandon it and end up on the ship You Sexy Thing. So this is where I didn't realize so much of the omniscient point of view, because I didn't feel like once you get onto You Sexy Thing, which is a bioship, so it is alive, it is growing, and at this point in time it's like a preteen to teenager kind of attitude wise, and that's where I really started noticing the head hopping. So if that is a little much for you, you might not like this setup, this story. You might very well bounce off of it. It was done to a very definite point. And there are some characters you don't see inside their head. And I think some of that was just strategic from Rambo, and I think some of that was just strategic according to how the story played out. You get to see more of the found family aspect while they are on the ship, and you get to see the ship interact with them and how they treat the ship as one of them, help the ship to grow. Like, the ship has the capability to provide meals, but none of its owners has wanted it to because it does not know how to cook. So Nico and her crew start to teach the ship how to cook and how to provide good food. And it's a lot of fun. I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. Not everyone who gets on You Sexy Thing is what they seem to be. Some of it Miko's expecting, and some of it she's not. And things take a turn unexpectedly, and she ends up heading back to a pirate colony that she's been to before, and not in a pleasant way. And so this is why I say she's kind of the main driver for the motivation, because last time she was there, she left someone behind. Not because she wanted to, and everything is now coming to a head. Like I said, I really enjoyed this, but this book I recognize is not going to work for everyone, and that's okay. The way it ends, it is possible to have a sequel, but it's not necessary. And I think it's done like that on purpose. So, if the book wasn't a hit, then there won't be a sequel. I really don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes it's just fun to write your own fan fiction, whether you write it on the computer by hand or just in your head. This is a very interesting universe. If you like space opera and don't mind trying different styles of writing, I would say try it, but don't be upset if you don't like it. Thank you, and have a great day.